If we imagine a human face and then remove all the makeup, jewelry, hair, and facial hair, do you think we can guess their age, sex, and ancestry? To some extent, I believe we can. But what if we look deeper than the skin and only look at the bones? Do you think we can still guess correctly? This is where I come in. I'm a forensic anthropologist, which means that I analyze human skeletal remains to identify unknown individuals. This is performed by comparing bone or teeth sample to an established anthropological standard or database to estimate their age, sex, ancestry, and stature. If you ever watch Bones or CSI, I believe you will be familiar with my project. So in my project, I investigated whether we can use the adult mandible or the lower jaw to estimate both sex and ancestry from two different populations, Malaysian and Western Australian. So I used CT scans to create a three-dimensional visualization and compare both the size and the shape between sexes and between populations. So my results show that apparently the size of the lower jaw is better to determine sex, where the male lower jaw tends to be larger than the female ones, while the shape of the lower jaw is better to distinguish between populations, because the Malaysian mandibles tend to be shorter and have less prominent chin, while the Western Australian one tends to be longer and have more prominent chin, and both with accuracies of over 90%. So this actually proves that the human mandible can potentially be used to estimate both sex and ancestry with high accuracies. However, there are still lots of homework to do. The main issue is because the accuracy of these procedures actually relies heavily on the method used, where they should be population specific, or it means that they should be highly customized for a particular population. So for example, most of the currently available standards nowadays are based on the US population from the past century. And if we apply these standards to the current Indonesian population, there might be misclassification of age, sex, ancestry, and stature. Unfortunately, to this day, we don't have yet any established anthropological standard for the contemporary Indonesian population. Therefore, one of my future goals is to develop population-specific standards, both for the general Indonesian population and more specific ones such as Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Indonesian, etc. And I believe this requires a collaboration between experts from multidisciplinary fields, and this is why I do hope that we all can work together to achieve this goal in the future. My name is Sari, and thank you for your attention.